Now let's begin. Hello. I hope you are all doing well today. Now let's continue our exercise. As usual, planning and control management. In part 2 on how to establish or develop a new project. Let's review our previous episode, session 8, which includes adding additional activities for project estimate general requirements. The second is linking additional and existing activities. The third was adding and assigning additional WBS labels for additional activities. Next was assigning activity types to all activities. And the last one is assigning duration types to all activities. So we have already discussed this completely. So let's proceed to our next episode for today. That is session 9. This will include a project resource dictionary, which includes the adding and defining direct and indirect resources. Okay, before we proceed, let's have an idea first. What is resources in construction project? Okay, resources pertains to personnel and equipments to perform works on activities across all projects. That includes materials needed to build the project. And that is why it has 3 types, namely labor, non-labor, and materials. Personnel and equipments are labor and non-labor resources, which are time-based type, which could be reused or reutilized between activities and or projects. So the first thing that we need to do here is to have a plan, the required resources we need to employ in our project. Okay, assuming that we have already prepared the estimate of resources we intend to employ in our project, as shown here. Okay, project resource requirements. Okay, assuming under the project management, we have our resources, the project manager, project engineer, and foreman. And then the next is the manpower, which listed as truck driver, heavy equipment operator, laborer or non-skilled, and then skilled workers. Next is the equipments that we need to be involved in this project is, we have here the medium-sized truck, excavator, loader, dump truck, grader, roller, twincher. And the next is for transportation. Okay, I think this pertains to the service vehicle rental. I mean, a service vehicle rental for the in and out of the staff or employees from office and also to site personnel. And then the next is the consumables. So this is about fuel. So this will be the cost of fuel that will be involved in our project. Now, let's start first by creating a resource structure for our project. which composed of project management, manpower, equipments, and transportation. Okay, let's open our Primavera P6. Now here we are. So the first thing we need to do here is to go to Enterprise and then Resource. The shortcut icon for the resource is this one. You can see this one. So you can use this for your shortcut. Now let's add our resource structure for this project. So the same thing as we are doing on adding the activities, adding WBS. Here at the right corner of our monitor, we can see here the plus sign. You can use this add, and also you can right click on your window and then click add. Okay, we will put it at the top using this arrow here at the right side. And then we will, let's say we will name it as PDLM. And then the same thing as PDLM site development. Oh, PDLM site development. Then we will add the another level. We will add, let's say, project management. Let's say we will use PMT for the resource ID and then project management. Okay. And then the same label, we will highlight it here and add, put it below the PMT, and then let's say man, that is for manpower. Okay. And then next is, let's say we will add again. Let's say equipment, so we will use EQP or AQT, and we will say equipment. Okay, next, we will add the transportation. So highlight here, right click and then add, and then move it at the bottom. And then let's say TPN for transportation. Okay. I think we need, what else? I think we need to add the C is L, CSM, which is good for, the same number, let's say consumable, CNM. So this is consumable. Okay. So we are done with the, what you call this, our resource structure here. So the next thing we need to do here is to add the resources starting from the higher level of our resource structure. Okay. So we will start from the project management. Okay, how to do that? Okay, the next thing to do that is, since we are adding resources to the project management, so we will highlight the project management and then right click and then add, and then let's say project manager. We will use the PMN. The project ID, I mean the resource ID, should be unique compared to all the resource IDs here in the in the resource window or in the resource dictionary. So project manager. Okay, highlight here again project management and then right click and then add. We will move it up below, and then we will add, let's say, project manager, or I mean project engineer. Let's say PMA. Let's say project engineer. Next, we will add again, right click, and then move it downward. And then let's say foreman, we will use FRM. So foreman. Okay. We will add first all the resources here before we will um, work the column here. Okay. Next, under the manpower, we will add the truck driver. So highlight the manpower and then right click and then add. And then let's say truck driver is TDB. And let's say we will use truck driver. Okay. Just look at the list that we have made for project resource requirements. Okay. Next we will add is heavy equipment operator. So add and then put it down. So heavy equipment operator, let's say HEO. So heavy equipment operator, heavy equipment operators. Next is laborer. Let's say we will make it LBR or laborer, or we will include it with non-skilled. What else? Non-skilled. Next is what? Let's add. After the non-skilled is, we have here the skilled. So we will use SQL or SKD. So that will be skilled. Okay. Next is we will go to equipments. So when you right click equipments and then click add, then TRC for medium size truck. Okay, highlight again, then click add. Next is excavator or loader. Move it down. AXR, excavator. Next is highlight equipments, then right click, and then dump truck. So what will be DT key? Dump truck. Wrong spelling. And then move it down. So we have already 3 equipments here. Next is grader. GRD. See grader. I think we didn't name this dump truck. Dump truck and graders, we have already 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then next is ruler. RLR. And then rename it to ruler for the resource name. What's next? We have the next is the twincher. Is THR. That is a twincher. I think it's enough. Did we miss something? Okay. Now we will proceed to transportation. So right click here. We will use the same name. TRP and transportation. Okay. And the next is consumables. So under consumables is let's say fuel, or meaning fuel. That is for the vehicle fuel. Okay. So we are done here already. Now the next thing to do here is close this one. So this is our resource dictionary for our project. Now we will assign a rate for each resources here. So for project manager, we have how much is the rate of project manager? So highlight here this one. If you are working for standard rate or whatever column here, just highlight that column. And then looking at the bottom detail of this resource window, here you can see here the details. We have here the general codes. Later on, we will discuss it. Details. Here is the details of the project. And then unit prices. But you can also insert every details here. You can insert here also at the resource window by pointing here at the column and then right click it and then column and then customize. There you can have a lot of choices here if you want to display in the column. Okay. But first we need to work for this first because this is one of the basic requirements for the cost loading, and later on we will be working some other features here as needed. Okay, let's close. So first we will work on the rate of the project manager. Here you can see the unit price. So the standard rate, let's say 3,000 per day. Yeah. And then the maximum units per time. So if you want to add later for an additional project manager, so you can put it here too, or whatever you want. Okay. And then next is project engineer. We highlight here and then put the rate here, which is 1500. Okay, and then for the foreman, let's say the rate is 700. And then for the, let's say truck driver, let's say the rate of truck driver is 600. And then for the heavy equipment operator, let's say 1,000. And then for our laborer or non-skilled, let's say 400. And then for our skilled is how much? 600. Now we will go to equipments. Under equipments, we have the medium-sized truck. So if the truck rental is, let's say, 5,000, we have our estimate there, which is 5,000 per time. Next is the excavator loader, let's say 24,000. Okay, let's say dump truck, the same rate, 24,000. About grader, the same, 24. And then ruler, the same. And then our twincher is, let's say 16,000, a little bit lower. And then we will go to transportation. So let's say our transportation, we are paying 5,000 a day for the rental. And then for the fuel, let's say we have a rate of 100 per liter. Okay, we can show here since our fuel, this is 100 per liter. So we can show here the what you call the column for the unit of measure. So it's right click here and then column, then customize, then find for unit of measure here. I think we'll click it, unit of measure, this one, okay? Then we will put it here at the bottom, okay? And then edit, and then center, and then apply. So what is our unit of measure here? So we will put here liter. But before we can put the unit of measure here, we need to select first the resource type, okay? So since from here, anyway, we will do it one at a time. So what's next? Okay, let's the maximum units. We will do this first. Okay, maximum units, project manager. So if we want to add later, so we can put it 2, and then how about the project engineer? Let's make it 2 also. How about the foreman? Let's make it 2 also. It is only our estimate for the maximum, so that it will control the input here, so that when you exceed the maximum, I mean you will be limited to input higher than the maximum that you have specified here. So truck driver, let's make it truck driver, let's make 2, heavy equipment 2, laborer, let's say maximum of how much? Let's say 15. Skilled, let's say 15 also. Equipments, let's remove this one under the what happened. Okay. You know, sometimes when you click some columns here, it will sort to that column. So be careful. So let's say here, we'll make it 0. And then we will go here, manpower, make it 0. Because that is not the resources. So truck driver 2. Equipment operator, let's say we will make it C5. Laborer, say 15. Skill 15. So that means we should not be exceeding 15 numbers for this maximum. Okay. Equipments 0. Make it 0. Medium sized truck, let's say 2. Excavator, let's say 2 also, because that is our estimate for the maximum. Okay, dump truck 2. Grader 2. Roller 2. Trencher 2. Transportation, make it 0 here, but here in the resources, let's say that's 1 unit. And then for consumables, so that will be 1 unit also. Let's say we'll make it 2. And then for fuel, let's make it 2 also. Okay. So we will go to here, calculate cost from units. So of course, we have to check, we have to check the tick box here so that the units will be calculated, or I mean the cost will be calculated from units. Okay. Remove this one, remove this one. Okay, project manager, project engineer, foreman. Let's remove this one. This is okay. Remove this one. Medium size truck, okay. Then we will remove this one. Remove this one. Okay. Did we miss something here, or these are all okay? Okay, when we miss something here, so we will just get back to this and then add if necessary. Okay. Okay, we will go here also. This resource type. We will go to project manager. That is labor. That is labor, manpower, heavy equipment operator. All of these are labor. This one is the equipments, or we can say that is non-labor. Okay, non-labor. Now we can use here, so equipments, all are non-labor. Right click. We can use here the fell down feature of Primavera P6. So highlight the first activity to copy, the first item to copy, highlight it. And then after you highlight the rest or destination, right click and then fill down. Okay. So transportation, non-labor, right? Non-labor. Next, transportation, non-labor, consumables. These are non-labor also. Next, you will, this is non-labor, non-labor. What else? I think we're done. So anyway, we can get back to this later if we miss something, or if we want to modify, we can do it. So for now, this is now okay. So I think let's take a break here. Okay. So this will be our next episode. Okay, the next episode is, that is for part 2, session 10, activity resource loading. So see you in this next coming episode, and thank you. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and sharing our exercise. Okay, thank you and God bless everybody. Bye-bye.